Who said that? It's not too hot. Look. It's not too hot. Freezing. Now I have a fire up here.
Also, the room's not full.
I got enough people. I just need a match.
Easy there.
Oh, maybe
That's
a blanket.
nervous. Maybe we get her a blanket.
Obviously, the grumpy old woman has a left.
Oh, no. And then we have number 9.
Too cold for Zoom. That's too hot for Zoom, yeah.
No,
Are you guys
we just
warm
want to discuss
It's
the
toasty in here.
wage thing.
There goes it on.
How about
Open the window.
Kim, I'll just run down and put my cold hands on. He'll wake up.
That's okay, and I'll pull right off. I cranked it up when I was working in the office too. Oh, maybe 78 or 70.
Holy cow.
Greenville City Council will come to order. Please call the roll.
Norris.
Here.
Rogers.
Here.
Schmidt.
Here.
White.
Here.
Brown.
Here.
Ely.
Here.
Godwin.
Here.
That's a little loud.
I get everyone to stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Evening, everyone. Council members, you were emailed out the approval or of the last meeting's minutes. They will stand approved as sent unless there's someone has a need for a change. Okay, you were also emailed out the agenda. There is 2 changes. We have a need for an executive session after the committee reports. And then the executive session is for 121-2 for the personnel, demotion, promotion, et cetera. And then we need to add under ordinances and resolutions a number 9. It's a resolution to proceed with a levy, and that does have an emergency clause.
Mr. President, I move to approve the agenda as amended.
Moved by Mr. Schmidt to approve the agenda as amended. Any discussion? Call the roll.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Ely.
Yes.
Godwin.
Yes.
Okay, moving on, we have a public hearing session for the zoning recommendations, recreational marijuana dispensaries. Anyone would like to come to the podium and speak? Now is the time. Okay, anyone else for a public hearing?
Okay, well, speak on
Yep,
our feelings on that?
sure.
Okay, well, I just noticed this last week where our wonderful,
Police department or deputies found that guy that was from out of town and had all that drug paraphernalia on him, and I think it was like at 2 a.m. or something like that. So that should be a wake-up call to say we don't need a place for people to come into town to buy the drugs because we already have a problem. So that is just my own personal feeling. I don't think we need it. If they want to go to Piqua, let them take their tax dollars to Piqua. So anyway, said and done. And now the other thing is, I was with somebody, probably about a month and a half ago, and we were driving over by Front Street, and we noticed that not all intersections have street names. And the street we were on, we weren't even sure what street we were on because we were like looking for the street signs, and you'd have to turn right and go to the end of the block to get the name of the street. Is that the norm, that not all intersections have the street names? I suppose people have it on their phones or whatever, but we didn't know, so I guess that would be directed to Mr. Delkin. Thank you very much.
No, all intersections should have street signs, and if you give me a list, I can get them for you. but
I shall do
They're
that.
probably stolen or got knocked down
Okay.
with a tornado or something of that
Okay,
nature.
very good, I will.
Anyone else for the public hearing section?
And
Just for clarification, going back on the marijuana dispensaries. So this started out as a recommendation to the Planning and Zoning Committee. Planning and Zoning came back to you with a recommendation to continue to prohibit recreational marijuana dispensaries. We do currently allow medical marijuana dispensaries under certain regulations. And so at the next meeting now, I'll have legislation that complies with their recommendation, and you would be able to vote at the next meeting then, now that the public hearing has been conducted.
Okay.
Well, the last one that was put out was only for a year, right?
That's correct.
Then the new one that's out now is indefinite.
It does not have an expiration to it, that is correct.
Yes, definite.
Per the recommendation of the Planning and Zoning Committee.
Not just 12 months, it's
That's
definite.
correct.
We would have to go back and change it.
Yes. Okay.
But you can go back and change it at any time.
Okay, anyone else like to come to the podium for public hearing?
Stu Willman, 283 Arc Avenue, Greenville. How you doing? I just want to come back and visit. So I came to talk about Boys and Girls Club, just real short. I turned in an application for community funds, and I didn't know for sure where we want to go with that, whether it's community funds or the police department funds that they've got now, and there wasn't a form, I think, designed yet, so I just put on the community funds. I was thinking about doing half and half, but we're asking, did they all get a copy, or maybe not?
No, I didn't give.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I was asking $5,900 to do some things that we've been wanting to do for a while because of the growth and the amount of kids that we have and stuff. So I didn't know for sure if everybody got it, but if you have any questions about the Boys and Girls Club, I'd like to answer them if I can. Of course, it talks about project and programs. I feel like Boys and Girls Club, it's been around a long time. It's kind of a project in itself, because if you wanted to look at somewhere or somehow it helps businesses and growth and that, and it keeps those kids out of their hair and from stealing stuff and growing up in the wrong way. So that's one of the things that we're really looking at. To socialize and have fun, no doubt. That's a big part of it. There's lots of games and things to do, and we want to attract those kids to come in, along with many things that we do. The growing need, it's amazing over the last couple of years, we've grown probably double. We have a membership of probably 90-some kids, and sometimes we have 40 or more, or 50 in that room down there. And it's kind of a controlled chaos, I think when you first walk in. It's like, but it's amazing how much help that those kids have gotten over the years. We have quite a few times we have people stop in that have been through the club and admit that it really helped them out. And they're in the military or they're in with other places, they're running businesses, and it's a big deal to us. We've helped with their homework, reading, and computer skills. We provide leadership, direction, and stability. Helps members understand bullying is the wrong thing. And they a lot of times, that's kind of a big thing. We see it when they come in, especially when they're fairly new, that they want to kind of push other kids around and what they say and what they do, and physically sometimes. And they try to make them understand why it's wrong. So let's see, then we help them with their education. And of course, one of the biggest things is drug awareness. And that's one of the things we're thinking about going through the police department funds, is having like presentation of awareness. Because a lot of these kids are coming from homes that are problematic with addictive, and they need help, and it's a great place for them to come to release, to talk to somebody. So we have to do, I want to do at least 4 to 6 presentations a year. Now, we haven't got it going yet, but, do the fire department, police department, rescue squad, health, resources, the schools, and somebody come in and talk to them a little bit all the time. We give them something to eat while they're talking so we can keep them settled down. So that's another part of this whole thing that I wanted to say. It's like one of the biggest costs that we want to look at right now is we have, over the time, we've expanded and we wanted to do more things, so we're doing a lot more cooking. We try to do some simple cooking, and we try to show them how it's done. There's a lot of kids that have never seen anybody cook before. It's quite an amazing thing. And so we show them how to do it and get them to help out a little bit. And they get a meal almost every night if they come in. Once they come in, they're not allowed to leave, or they have to get a ride home or somehow with their parents, or whatever, work it out. But that kind of keeps them in there for the duration of our time. That's Monday through Thursday, 4 to 8, and then Saturday afternoons. So usually on Friday night and stuff, there's a lot of things to do, schools and stuff. They have plenty of things, and they're able to occupy them. So I don't know if you guys want to ask any questions. I can kind of like, our budget, I wanted to tell you our budget was probably it's around $60,000 a year, pretty close to that. Our main contributor is United Way, which is probably half or more of our funding. We do a lot of fundraising within the club. That doesn't come near. We do get the Ketro, Stevens, and Shar grant money every year, but you never know what we're getting. It's anywhere from $500 to $2,000 sometimes each year. And there's a lot of personal grants and personal gifts. And so that's, gets our budget. We'll ask for more. You're coming up United Way. I think they're doing all right. During our regular monthly times, we have them in a wood shop. Tom Jenkins, our manager, takes them back there, and we have probably several times a year, we do little wood projects, and they're in display in the windows most of the time if you ever go by. We do the cooking classes. All our food is donated, and it's served to feed all those kids every day. It's amazing we get that. But one of the big things we need to have is the cabinets for the storage of extra food and like a pantry type items, and then pots and pans. And one of these days we get into if there's a possibility that we've been kind of worried the last several times we talked about drugs, is that maybe we should carry Narcan. I don't know. We don't have any professional people that said that. It's just a thought. So we need a place to kind of put it away, lock it up. So we have open shelves right now. And they kind of are a mess. They look bad because there's just so much stuff stored on them. So that's one of our big items that we'd like to get is cabinets. And then we get another game. I can't remember what it is. Another gaming system. Remember the other, like a foosball, something like that. That's one of the big things the kids want. So then we have so many things donated all the time. We have quite a bit of people that donate small stuff. Over the Christmas time, Paul Ackley drew a picture and a sketch, I guess, a cartoon, and we auctioned it off. And I can't remember who won it now, but it's always helpful to get a few bucks in. We have a couple volunteers. I think we have 3 volunteers. We have 3 part-time employees. They're paid, and we have the manager and our treasurer's paid positions. Just in our manager's report for like December, had the Christmas dinner, pizza party, Thanksgiving dinner, all that kind of stuff extra for the kids. Little toy drive, we have a gift card drive. I've had a 250 club that everybody participates in and raise money. First John, thanks for your help. He helps out quite a bit with Dairy King and different places the kids get to go to, get some gift certificates for up there. The budget, I've got for this year's budget, if anybody has questions or anything, it's like, I don't want to take up too much time, but if you guys got questions, that'd be probably the biggest thing you want to know anything about.
Steve, I know last meeting I was at, there was a need for some board members. Are you still looking for some board members?
Yeah, we do need that one.
So City Council is probably one of the most rewarding boards that I've been on over the years. Going in there at night and seeing 40 or 50 kids in there eating, and Tom Jenkins does a great job. I've known the Jenkins family forever, but you know, he just doesn't make the food. He prepares it, has the kids help him. They teach him how to make spaghetti or whatever they're making. But I encourage, if there's someone looking for another project, that would be, it's good. So, and Steve, you've been on that board forever too, so thank you.
The reason, I just, real quick, back in the early 50s, the superintendent knew my dad was a woodworker, and he asked him to go help out with the Boys and Girls Club. And that was probably somewhere back in between 53 and 55. Then my dad passed away in 2003, and I took over his seat on the board in 2004.
That's awesome. And I was that kid that went there in the 70s, and there's a lot of direction there.
Of course,
That was above Roderfields then. And
Right, yeah. It was in the back of the Memorial Hall on that.
Paul, I can't think the guy ran it, Paul something.
Paul Kirkpatrick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Good guy. He was really big on trying to make sure that they were all being able to read. That was a kind of a big thing. And that's kind of one of the Boys and Girls Club's things they want to get done, is always make sure that if a kid needs to have reading help, then they will help them out. And we have some people to do that on a part-time basis. And of course, everybody that works for the Boys and Girls Club is background screened, and so it has to be checked out. You're dealing with public kids and stuff, so yeah, anybody comes up with any questions later on or anything, call me, anytime. So if it comes up to your committee meeting or anything, if you'd like to, I'd bring in our manager and our secretary treasurer. That's Joe Ellen Melling. So and they take care of all the books and everything. Other than that, I'll let you go. I took too much time anyway, probably. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Steve.
Thanks.
Okay, anyone else, public hearing part? If not, we will move on to administration reports. Honorable Mayor.
I want to say Happy New Year to everyone. It's 2025 is here, whether we like it or not. Last year was a very challenging year, budget-wise, and with some of the events that happened, including, of course, the tornado, which, diverted a lot of our energies to, raising money for the trees, which was just an amazing thing for the community to come together to raise that kind of money. The last number I heard was $140,000. That's just incredible. So this year, we started with the planting of the trees, working with the urban forester, and she's got the park all mapped out, and I think the park that we'll be starting with is around the band shell area. And we're going to do certain sections of the park each year and be very scientific about where we're planting trees, and I think it's going to be a big effort, but in 28 or 30 years, we'll have the park back to where it was. It's unfortunate, but, we can enjoy what the park was. It's still a very beautiful place and a gem here in Greenville, and it's going to be wonderful for our kids to watch that park develop again. So a couple of things we got going this year is very exciting, both involving the water and sewage, is the building of our new wastewater treatment facility, and also our new 1.5 million gallon water tower that's going to be located in the industrial park. So lots of things to look forward to, and Ryan's got his plate full. And with that, I pass, and I'm sure Ryan's got more to talk about.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Safety Service Director, Mr. Delk.
Thank you, Mr. President. Happy New Year, everyone. We'll start with solids handling. Right now, we're scheduled to do bid openings on January 22nd. We're working through some things with the building department right now. We may have to push that bid opening back a week. I should know here by the end of the week which way. Hopefully we can stay on schedule with that, though. The water tower, it's 95% completed for the design phase. It's currently with the EPA. We requested what we call PTI, permit to install. So they're currently reviewing that PTI, and once we get that back, we can finalize the plan to 100% and send it off for bids. And the plan for that is to bid in late February. We would go through the same process, similar process as the solids handling facility with the WPC LF loan program. Currently, that project is, engineer's estimate is $8.6 million. And it'd be located out behind Spartech out in the industrial park. And it'll be raised to a higher level, so then that will increase water pressure throughout the city and give us better water pressure in areas that we don't have great water pressure right now. And so when that happens, the goal is to raise a couple PSI per week, because when you raise too many PSI at once, that's when you have a lot of water breaks. So we're going to be very strategic when that goes online. It is a 2-year project once we get started, 18 months to 2 years, but that's a big one that we're going to work on here in 2025. Schweitzer Street project, the engineers are going to start designing ODOT's Phase 2 portion of the project in early February. We'll get started on that. So we'll work all of 2025 on Phase 2 design, and then in 2026 we'll do Phase 3 design. So it's quite the process just because of the funding mechanism and the grant funds that are tied to that, but it's an ongoing project as well. Phase 2 sidewalks are complete. We're going to start sending out invoices here next month for Phase 2, and then we are starting to work on Phase 3. So identification on Phase 3, letters will go out, and then we will do the engineer's estimates and send that out for bids and have another project here probably late summer, early fall for our Phase 3 sidewalks. We have received an ODOT grant for our transit department. It is a transit development plan study grant. So they're going to come in and do a transit development plan, a study for us that kind of is going to help us with countywide transportation. And there's a lot of ways you can slice up transit, around the state. And a lot of it depends on your population, and, kind of, we're a little bit unique as being in a rural area, and it's a little more difficult, but there's even talk of potentially like a dedicated service route around the city. So they're going to look at all those type of things to try to help us look into the future and run that department more efficiently, and it's 100% ODOT grant, and they plan to have that wrapped up by the first part of June. And hopefully I'll have much more to report on that later. I am currently working on revamping the city's strategic plan. I have a rough draft now. I hope probably by the second meeting in February I can come to council with an actual completed strategic plan, all completely updated, and get council's input, and then something that we can adopt to move forward with that. I will be bringing legislation next council meeting for a couple water line projects that we're hoping to do in 2025. One is Marion Drive. So if you're out in that north end of town, your Marions, your Donalds, your Victorias, you'll see a lot of water break patches in the road. A lot of that is due to most of it is ductile iron, and it's what we consider like post-World War II ductile iron. So they were out of steel, so they made it thinner. So then there's a lot of problems with that era of steel. So we'll bring legislation to engineer that project. So we'll go all the way from Russ Road to Arc Avenue on Marion Drive, and then it's in really rough shape. We would like to also pave it next year, but we need to get that infrastructure underneath repaired first. And then the second portion that we'll bring is for a water line project on Green Street that will run from 5th to Martin Street. So currently it is a 2-inch line. The fire hydrants in that area are what we call black hydrants, which don't have enough pressure for the fire department. And then there's some lead lines there, so we're going to address the lead lines, upgrade the water line, and then that opens up the East School property. So Bonanza Custom Homes, they own that property, and they plan to develop it in 2025. So that water line is a big piece of being able to get some housing built. I expect that he brought us a kind of an off-the-record preliminary plan to the last planning and zoning meeting in December, and he's expected to bring a preliminary development plan in January to the planning and zoning. So that's exciting to get some housing built over in that area. And last but not least, the police department is working with the Darke County Sheriff's Office. They have requested a couple of our officers to be on their SRT team, their special response team. So we're working with them. Sheriff is currently working on an MOU, and then we'll bring that to council to try to get a couple of our people on that team. And with that, I will answer any questions, but I will pass.
Ryan, where is basically phase 3 of the sidewalk program at?
Yep, phase 3 is like behind the high school, Primrose, Magnolia, that area, and then goes up into Radcliffe, Sunset, Brighton area. So basically from 118 to the east, and then from behind the high school north.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
And phase 2 went good this time?
Phase 2 went tremendously better than phase 1, and phase 3 will even be better yet.
Okay.
Learning every time, but it's it's getting much better.
It's that great street department we have, right?
They did a fantastic job. The planning and zoning department and the street department, they nailed it.
All right, any other questions for?
Ryan, what's entailed in the strategic plan?
So a lot of items. It's expansion, it's housing, it is infrastructure, it is business-based. So the original plan was, I think, 2003.
The last one.
The last adopted plan. In 2020, around COVID, we started revamping that plan and went around to stakeholder groups. Like we had a meeting with City Council, and we had a meeting with the Greenville CIC, and met with all the department heads and kind of got their long-term 10-year visions. And then COVID hit, and it got sat on a shelf, and now I dusted it off and started working back through it again.
Let's look forward to it. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, anything else for Mr. Delk? All right, moving on to Law Director, Mr. Riemann, was famous because he was in the, got recognized at the athletic, what was that?
No idea what you're
Champion.
talking about.
Champion of, was that tennis?
Champions.
Was that tennis or?
It was tennis.
Yes. So we're in honor.
I'm the honored one to be serving with y'all. Just do that. And so for tonight, we've got a lot of legislation to talk about, and we'll talk about some of that in executive session regarding personnel and the compensation. So I'll save my comments for them, but I'll answer any questions everybody has for me at this stage.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Law Director. City Auditor, Ms. Davis.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to wish everyone a Happy New Year as well. And I wanted to say Jessica had passed out, we've been requested by the state auditor for everyone to complete a conflict of interest statement for 2025 that'll go in your personnel file. So they asked me to distribute those, sign off on those. If you guys have a question about it, let me know, but they are asking for those from council. We are working diligently. Our office has been working to finish up the balancing for 2024. So we are very close to finishing that up, and I have been working on the budget. The revenues posted. We did meet our revenue for 2024 due to the interest being at a higher rate, a higher return than what we did expect. So we did meet our revenue. So I wanted to let council know that. And other than that, we're working on anything else, and I'll answer any questions.
Any questions for our auditor? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to committee reports, we have none. Then I would entertain a motion to rise the executive session for the 121-01 for the dismissal, promotion, demotion of a public employee
So moved.
or elected official.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Brown to rise the executive session. Call the roll.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Ewing.
Yes.
Godwin.
Yes.
Okay. If I could just, it shouldn't take maybe 5-10 minutes to get everyone to just step out in the hallway, and we'll let you know when we come back in.